Okie dokie, let's begin. Praise be the Spiral, everybody. Happy Thursday. Hope everybody's okay. I think everything's working good. Okay, cool. Praise be the vodka. Unfortunately, it's just water tonight. I'm holding it up in the wrong place. Just water tonight, unfortunately. Taking it easy. I was quite tired when I got back. For all you know, this could just be pure vodka, couldn't it? But it's... I wouldn't tell you it was water in that case. I would tell you it was vodka. So, yeah, it's been a long, hard day today. Actually, just really tiring. So, I won't be doing anything. I won't be playing Resident Evil tonight. I'll save that for Saturday. But yeah, welcome along, everybody. We're going to do some Cecconoid tonight. We were making some decent progress last time. We got to the Robotron screen again. We just need to work on that basically tonight and do as much as we can. I sound really tired. Yeah, I am very tired. I didn't intend on napping when I came back. I tried not to, but I lay down and I just fell asleep. So I've only been up maybe half an hour or so. So that's probably why. What are we playing next Tuesday? I do not know yet. I don't know. Got a couple of ideas of games we can play. But yeah, I'm just gonna pick something at random from the list that we've been putting together and play that. And then I think on the following Tuesday, so not this Tuesday, the Tuesday after, we're going to do a one and get you guys involved as well. So we'll probably do some kind of 4 or 8 player game on the following week. I'm not sure what it will be though. Maybe it'll just be Back for Blood again. Maybe we'll just continue where we left off from if I can't think of anything. Because I did really enjoy that game. It's a cool game. I like it. It's a worthy successor to the originals. I don't think it's quite as polished as the originals, but it is what it is, and it's a decent game anyway. Yeah, Andy recommended Amiga Live as well, so that's a very good chance as well. Yeah, I think if we do the first kind of the first more than 2 player stream may very well be a retro game, because Sean hasn't played a lot of retro games, not that old anyway. So it'd be good to play some really old ones and see what we can do. I think it suffers from second version syndrome. Yeah, I have to agree, but also I think it's not quite little things like the AI doesn't feel quite as polished, and just a few things that didn't feel quite as good as the original. I think the original 2 games they had such a nice kind of production feel to them. They felt like you were playing some kind of zombie TV show. So it was and just little things that they did. When the zombies kind of ran at you in the first ones, it really felt like you were being attacked by a horde of zombies. They were really they came streaming out of doors in a particular way. Something doesn't quite feel the same about this version, but I'm guessing because they've had to do everything from scratch. So it's like with Left 4 Dead 2, once they had Left 4 Dead 1, they just basically built on top of it. But I'm guessing with this, they've had to start completely from scratch. I mean, not to say it's bad at all. I really enjoy it. I like it. I think the card system is quite cool. Actually, I thought I was gonna hate that, but actually quite like it. So, what else? So for those who are in the Bitmap Soft chat, you probably noticed some exciting stuff to do with Luma. So Zupadan has been very active in getting his Amiga version ready, and so it prompted me to kind of start the ball rolling with getting Bitmap Soft to publish them. So Zupadan is doing really well with the Amiga version, and PM Prog, or Mythical Duck in chat here, is doing really well with the Game Boy Advance version. And Andy's doing well. I assume he's doing well. I've not seen anything on the ST one, but he's doing he's doing an Atari ST version, and they're all going to be published by Bitmapsoft as well. That's a secret. It's not anymore. So it'll be the first ST game for a long time, I'd imagine. But yeah, making progress. Well, I've seen screenshots. That's the thing. But yeah, but yeah, it's really cool. It's cool, and Bitmapsoft have been really good to me. So my only kind of requirement for you guys to make that those ports was for it to be published through Bitmapsoft. That's all I want from it. I don't want any of the revenue from it. I mean, I wouldn't expect it to make an awful lot anyway, as with all of these games. So it wouldn't be really fair for me to take a cut of that, and I don't really want to do that anyway. So it's they're going to be published as if the three people publishing them are the pure authors. The only thing I asked for is a credit in the manual and a credit in the game itself as the kind of creator. So and a copy of the game, which I think first time chat. Hey, joking man, TK, code please. Yeah, we will be coding in a second. No, I don't want a cut of anything. That's absolutely fine. It's entirely your profit to be had. All I ask is just a credit in the game. That's it really. Acting with the jokes, and yeah, Bitmapsoft will give me a copy of the game anyway, so I can have a collection of these games. I'm okay to port your M64 rating code to C64 if you provide the code. I can provide the code. It's not the prettiest code though in the world. It was my first kind of my first dip into the raster rewrite buffer stuff. But yeah, I can share it with you if you want. It won't be the easiest thing to work with though, I'd imagine. Whoops, press the wrong button. All right, let's give you all some points and let's get cracking on. So we're going to work on the collision, the bullet collision for the Robotron screens tonight. Oh, where's my little interact window? Let me bring that up 1 sec. There we go. Start the races and quiz for you guys. So let's show you where we're at, and then we can work on the Robotron stuff tonight. So we had got it kind of working. Well, that's bright. But there were some issues with the collision. It wasn't quite picking all the collision up properly. So, oh god, I'm dying every time. Okay, so we've got these moving around, and we can shoot them. And there is some kind of... Actually, there's nothing. Yeah, you see that? There's a little flash, and one of them stops. So something's happening, but it's not quite right. So we need to work out what that is, why it's doing that. But they are stopping. You can see they're stopping. Well, this the one here has stopped. So that's what we're going to work on tonight. We're going to try and get those going, and we're going to take a look at kind of how much raster time we're using for these collision routines, because I worry that these collision routines might be a bit heavy. So so I guess the first thing to do is to look at the values that we're testing, because the bullets is definitely stopping against them, so that's good. But I think what's happening is that there's only certain positions that they can... Why is my bullets not working that way? Oh. To check my joystick settings. I think I might have some weird setup here. Let's have a look. Configure joysticks. Joysticks, configure key set A. Okay, so there's probably some kind of bug here which is stopping me from shooting too much. Because I don't seem to be able to shoot in any direction at the moment, which makes me think the bullets are not removed properly. So I may have kind of hit a limit by not removing the bullet properly when it's hit these guys for some reason. So we'll take a look at a few things. Let me bring the code up to a decent level so you can see it. There you go. And let me set a split view so I can actually do stuff. There we go. Right. Anyway, how's everybody's Thursday been so far? How's everybody's week been? To be honest, those in the UK really saw the terrible rain we had last night. It was really, really bad. It absolutely hammered it down. Thanks for the sub gift to Debs and the Magic Night. Appreciate it. Uh, I lost my hair, well, half of it. Well, what, just today? Yeah, I've been working quite hard today. I've been doing my I've been coding today actually. Oh, barber. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I thought you just like had some terrible accident or something and lost half your hair, like set fire to it or something. Oh, look at that little ST up in the top corner. Or is it there? I was looking at the wrong picture. Couldn't see my hands. Try working down the pit of that side. Oh man. Okay, so Robotron screens and collisions. So let's take a look at the Robotron screen, which I think is its own little file now, isn't it? Yeah, it's this one here. So let's stick that over there. Let's keep the cart on this side so we can load it up. So it's just a tiny bit too big. There we go. Going to rain until Saturday night. Yeah, well, it's probably the rain that we had yesterday. It rained from round about midday yesterday, all the way through pretty much till the morning. And it was just constant. It wasn't particularly super heavy or anything. I mean, it wasn't light rain, but it wasn't super heavy rain either. But it was just constant. It didn't stop. Uh, so it's quite horrific. I was worried this morning when I went to work; it was still going to be raining, but thankfully it stopped when I got up. Okay, where's our little collision? Okay, so this is our check versus the bullet. So I think one of the things that's happening, and let's just verify that first, is that the bullets are kind of running out. We're hitting a maximum bullet limit, and they're not being removed properly, and so we can't shoot anymore. So you'll see when I come on the first screen that I can shoot forever, sort of thing. I just need to get out of the way of everything that's going to explode on me. Oh, damn it! There we go. Oh, no, I can't shoot. It's not picking up my joystick for some reason. See down here, it's not lighting up. Oh, it's because I've got caps lock on. Ah, okay, that would explain it. All right. Okay, well that's good. That means there's not a bug with the bullet thing. Yeah, there we go. But I do get stuck in this position because they're ganging up on me. But I'd be dead at this point anyway. So, but these ones look to have died. So what we need to do is when we get into this thing, we need to immediately brake and we need to do some testing. Because what we should be testing is the position of the bullet, or the position that the bullet has hit. Actually, is it the position of the bullet or the? Let's take a look at the bullets. That's going to be the way to do this. So somewhere down here, bullets hit something. Okay, so we did a little check to see if we're in a Robotron screen, and if we are, we check versus the bullet. But we need to check exactly where this is happening. So check versus bullet. Okay, yeah. So that routine only gets called when we actually hit something, and then we need to know what the actual collision position is. So we've got this collision char X and collision char Y. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a breakpoint in here. I'm going to build it, and then I'm going to run it in the debugger so we can take a proper look and see what's going on. Well, the frozen ones, yeah, the frozen ones are moving. The reason they're frozen is because I've shot them. So some of them, seem to be accepting that they're being hit, and then other ones don't. So I'm not sure why that is, but we'll try and figure that out now. You put Teletubbies on. Oh my god. Teletubbies, wow. You picked the Eldritch pick that. A random choice of tune. Wow, so you could consider Teletubbies retro now. Because I mean, I can't remember the last time they were on TV, like original, so you're gonna regret agreeing to look at Pick a Mix, Andy. Okay, so if I shoot this way, a little bit of kind of glitching, but it's not too bad. Yeah, there you go. Oh, and it didn't break actually. So breakpoints aren't working in here. I thought we'd fix that. You can see those two have been shot, so they don't move now. So they should be getting removed, which is fine. We can deal with that. But right now, my biggest concern is the fact that I'm shooting them definitely, and they're not showing as being shot. So one of the things that's happening is bullets are kind of leaving gaps in things. So if the things move across a bullet path, then they leave gaps. Actually, no, they don't. There's something else weird going on. Isn't it out there? It's really hard to play when the joystick direction and the shoot direction is all the same. Okay. Okay, let's start with working out. Well, I can't work out because I can't see where the bullet things are happening. Okay, I was kind of hoping the breakpoints would carry over, but it seems like they're not doing, because that should be carrying over. All right, let me just put that in there, and then I can see if we're actually hitting that. Come back to the debugger once I know a little bit more. Sean and Charlotte definitely to play. Yeah, that would be good. Actually, that would be good. I definitely want to get Sean playing some older games. So while we will do some new games as well, I do want to focus. My main focus for it is actually indie games. So if people do 2-player modern Commodore 64 games or so, then yes, we'll play those. But also I want to do kind of modern PC indie games as well. Try and give the indie game community kind of more exposure. Not that our channel is particularly high exposure, but every little bit counts when you're a small dev team. So definitely want to kind of do that and give some of these games a bit more kind of airtime, if you like. Bubble Bobble is a great one. Yeah, I think Bubble Bobble is definitely going to happen. The fact that when I said, or somebody said Bubble Bobble, and Sean went, "Is that the one with the dinosaurs?" It just incensed me, the fact that he didn't know immediately that it was. It's like, wow. Wait, what? Jump distance is too far because I put that in. Okay, well. Okay, fine. All right. Wait, no, we've got to jump. Don't you? Oh, this one here. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, Amiga Live is sounding like probably the right one to do. I kind of want to play the arcade one. If we're going to play Bubble Bobble, I want him to play it on the original arcade version. But I'm sure MAME has got multiplayer set up for it as well. Never get out of the way of that quick enough. Right, so every time we hit something now, we get a flash. All right, so that includes the background as well. But you can see it knows it's hitting something. So that's good. That's good. That means actually we've stopped quite a lot there. Yeah, so we're definitely hitting things. But the question is, why can't it find the right ones? And it's probably down to the way that we're actually finding the Robotron, the correct Robotron char here as well. So let's see, does it find a Robotron char every time? So let's see if it breaks every time we hit something. Oh, I just closed that. I did. I say I don't think I'm going to do anything past 12:30. I am very tired, but I'll do my best to get as much of this done tonight. Where's check versus bullets gone? Is it right at the bottom? Yeah. This sounds really familiar for some reason. Golden Axe, yes. Golden Axe would be great as well. Oh my god, I loved that game. That would have to be arcade as well. C64 version's not great. I mean, it's okay, but I'm not even sure you can play it 2 players on the C64 version. But also things like Double Dragon as well might be good. Fighting old style fighting games. I might have a themed kind of C64 day where we play like Double Dragon and international karate, things like that. Like a 2-player fighting game day or something. There's a lot of good things to play. So yeah, Amiga Live is something that's been recommended quite a lot now. Okay, so there we go. It's worked out that we've hit something now, right? So let's just take a look at what information it gives us. Unfortunately, you can't see that very well. That monitor, does it get bigger if I stretch it? No. Okay. Let me try and set the settings for the monitor in here. Monitor. There we go. Space normal. Okay, let's make it bold so it's a bit easier to see. And let's make it a bit bigger so it's easier to see. Well, that's a bit too big. I mean, I know we're old, but we're not that old. Okay, good. There we go. Right, so we can see things a bit more now. So we'll just use this monitor for now. See if we can find the information we're after. And if we can't, we'll try and work out how to do it in the debugger a bit better. Okay, so what do we need to know? Okay, so we need to know the char number in 8. Okay, so we've definitely got that in the accumulator 70. And I believe somewhere. No, damn it! I should have kept on that. Keep scrolling past everything, don't I? Oh, it isn't here. Damn it! Right. Yeah, it's going to be in this list somewhere. This chars list. Unfortunately, I did not. Stupidly, I did not put a label in here. So let me put a label in here. Go for that again. All right. Oh, I forget things all the time. I'm absolutely convinced I'm going to have some kind of mental well, not a mental breakdown, but I'm going to have some kind of mental capacity kind of decline as I get older, just based off how many things I forget all the time. Oh, we can't do that in here. Okay, right. So that means I need to do. Maybe I'm just being paranoid. Maybe it's just something that, as you get older, you do forget things. But I forget some of the most simple things sometimes. And I've noticed one of the things that I've always had trouble with is, well, not really trouble, but like some words look wrong to me. Like they just look wrong. They don't like. I know that they're spelt that way, but they look wrong. And it's something I've always told people, and they go, "Oh yeah, I get that sometimes." And it's like, okay, right, that's fine. Yeah, that is wrong though. That's different. That is definitely wrong. uh, but recently it's been more and more. It's like every day I'm finding some new word that just looks wrong to me. And it comes and goes. So it will look wrong one day, and then the next day it will look perfectly fine. So I can't really explain what's going on there, but I feel like it's just my brain doing crazy things. I think it's because I fill my brain with all of this stuff and nothing else, and my brain's like, oh no, the 6502 is the important bit, so let's just ditch everything else. Okay, Robotron Charlist AAFA. So if I go and have a look at that AAFA, so we can see the list of characters we've got here. So this is where they are in the character set, and you can see 6E is indeed one that's in there. So it knows it's a Robotron char because it's in that list. So that's good. So the next thing to look at is how it would go and find that character. So what it's going to do, the Y register should tell us which one it is as well. Okay, so let's have a look. So it says number 4, and it is indeed the 4th one in the list there. Okay, good. And so then it's going to come to here, which is going to take bullet data, comma X. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, X is our bullet index. So our X is here, so it's 0. So this is the first bullet in the bullet list, and it's going to subtract. Okay, so it's taken an X position here. Okay, so let's step into it a little bit, and let's have a look at our char origin offset. So our char origin offset number 4 is forward 1. Well, backwards 1, sorry, and upwards 0. So let's take a look at what's going on the screen. So here's one where we've hit. So it thinks it's hit at this point here, and it's saying back 1 and not up 1. So unfortunately, I can't see the grid here. If it'd be nice if the grid was on, which is why the debugger would be helpful. But looking at this, it looks like it's probably about to hit, like this is halfway between two characters by those things, and judging by the position of this dividing line here, this is straddling two horizontal characters. So it is actually up to this point here. So this is correct. It looks like it's fine. So now we need to check that the X position that it's going to grab is correct. So let's step into this and compare this against the original code. Yep, so it's just done this, it's loaded the accumulator. Okay, so we need to step to actually load the accumulator with that. Okay, so we get 0D. Wait. Why are we doing this? Hang on. Why are we doubling here? Not sure why that's happening. Oh, we have to. Okay, we have to double it to compare it against our entities. All right, okay. So in that case, let's have a look. So we're going to double, and then we're storing it here. So the accumulator is now on 30. Where's my pen? Let's grab some pen and paper and write some of this down. Okay, so this is our LSB for this is at 30. And then we do the same again for the Y. And just do that kind of, it's easier. And that says that's 30 as well, which doesn't make any sense. Unless is it in that? Oh yeah, probably it could be exactly that actually. Yes, maybe correct. Because it is loading from Y, it is loading offset Y. Okay, so we've got bullet X and bullet Y. So now we need to know against our entities, which I also do not have labeled up here, so that's really handy of me to not do that. But thankfully, I know where this is in memory, so I can go and check that. Okay. And our max Robotron entities is probably 16, I think. Let's hope it is, because that would be a nice round number. Where's my variables? Constants. Max Robotron entities 16. Okay, cool. So that means our X and a Y, char X and char Y, are these ones here. This is what we need to test against. Bit 0 and okay, so we need to AND the I wonder if that's it. It might just be those values need ANDing. Hang on. It could be that simple. Yes, look, there we go. So these need to be like that, because we need to ignore those last two bits, because those last two bits are our fractional bits for the positions. So these are our actual positions, which is why we times by 4. Because the bottom two bits are actually our fractional components, and we want to kind of ignore the fractional components for this. We just want to find the top left. So this might be enough. So let's take that breakpoint out and just give it a try like that. Hey, Anonym PDA, welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. New background is good. Capacitor. We do need some more. What are we up to now? Still got 119. Yeah, we will need some soon. Yeah, so if anybody does have any series of images they want to add to the background, let me know and we can drop them in. Brilliant tune, this. Whoever picked this, well done. You see, now they're stopping properly. Yeah, cool. So there we go. We can shoot them all. Okay, cool. Yeah, it was just an and. We weren't doing the and, so it was failing. Okay, cool. Right. So the next step then is to make them actually explode and disappear. So we've hit here. So this is where we're incrementing the border here. So it means I can go back and get rid of this border increment in here that we were doing. So don't need that anymore. Which means we don't really need that branch up there to be the way it is. But what did I just do then? Oh, I'm not sure what just happened then. So, let's get rid of it while we're here. Okay, so yeah, okay, that's good now. All right, okay, cool. So we've hit at this point. So we store type here of 0, which removes it, but it's not actually clearing the character from the screen. So one way we can do this is we can take the position that we know, which is these. Oh, actually, we don't have the position, do we? We have the char X and the char Y position, but we don't have anything to clear it. Okay. So the Robotron screen does a clear and then a draw. So I think the update needs to happen after the clear but before the draw. So if we take a look at the game loop, we'll see in the game loop that we've probably got a bullet update and then a character update, the Robotron update. And the problem here is that we're going to be doing the Robotron updates as part of the screen update. So that means it's not going to be as straightforward as just moving things around in here. Because what we could do is we could just do the screen update here, but that's not going to work. Where is the screen update actually? It's this one here, isn't it? Yeah. So I reckon if I was to put that in here, it would work. However, I think because it happens after the clears, I think we need to be careful with that, because I think there's some definite kind of timing issues if we move that around too much. Like we may start updating things in the middle of the screen on busy screens, like the laser screen, for instance. Although I do have some ideas how to make the laser screen a bit more efficient anyway. But hopefully now this should remove them when they get hit, but it's not doing. Okay, so that's fine. That's fine. It just means we need to work out the best way to remove them as well. Okay, that's fine. All right, let's undo that, put it back up there. Need to keep an eye on the size of the Robotron stuff as well, just in case we need to expand it a little bit more. We don't have anything to say where the end is. Should probably put a little check in here as well to see if this is too big, and then it can complain. That would be the sensible way of doing that. Let me just have a look if I've got some code I can steal for that. I think I do in the game loader in here. Yeah, if I do that, then if we run out of memory, it will complain. So if I just put this at the end, except not in the game loop, let's do it in here. There we go, and then make this. If it's more than I believe that's the amount of memory I have in. If I just put this at like this and just test it, it should complain that we're out of memory. It's a location. Yeah, there we go. Out of memory in Robotron don't occur. Okay, and then I can put. That's the right buttons in a minute. So let's do that before it here, and then we can actually see as we're running out. Just to give us a little bit of kind of build time information to let us know where we are with this, so I can go back and have a quick look. I need to stop it tracing all these fat targets. They're completely useless. Yeah, so I can see there how much memory we've used, and it's we've used quite a bit already actually in this, so don't want to add too much more, but it's fine. I just said we can shift things around more at a later date if we need to. So reading the chat a little bit. Oh, talking about Elite. I'd love to show Sean to play the original Elite as well, because he's played a bit of Elite Dangerous, so I'd like him to see where it came from. But it might be torture for a young whippersnapper like him to play a game so old. Okay, Let's get rid of some of these things in here that we don't need anymore, like this one. And I'm actually going to go and have a look at the cart loader code. I'm going to remove all those logs that are in there that I definitely don't need. So add file. Is it these ones? Yeah, those ones. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate it just in case there's a reason for it to... Oh, it's just going to say unnamed though, isn't it? That's the thing. Because the problem is we need it to put stuff back. So yeah, unfortunately, I can't get rid of that. That's just a side effect of the way that the kicker say. It's not like you can make these silent, unfortunately. So if they're in there, if they're being imported, then they are going to show up. These ones here, fat index, and there's probably a static bank cartridge as well somewhere. Static cart bank, yeah. We're over halfway on the cartridge now as well. It's fine. I wish I could make them silent though. If anybody does know how to make them not output, that would be great. But I don't recall anything. Hey Jamie, how's it going? System Shock 1 and 2. Actually, they'd be great games, wouldn't they? Because again, that's where BioShock came from. So it would be good for him to see those original kind of games. I mean, although the setting's completely different, but it's the same. It's the same devs or something like that. I know it's related to BioShock. Well, BioShock's related to that, should I say? Okay. Okay. So what we need to do, we need to remove the character and we need to replace it with a little kind of explosion. So to remove a character, we basically just need to draw some space where it was, right? We know we've hit something because we're at this point, and we know that the positions are actually we have some position. Well, we have the offsets here in the Y. Maybe we need to just store some additional information here. Okay, let's think about this. So in the bullets data, we should have an actual screen location. So so we have, where is it? Collision char X and collision char Y. So those are areas that have been, oh wait, no, this is passable. Okay, so it's not that. Just trying to work out if we hit something, is there an obvious place where we can tag onto that as well. Thanks for the resub code, Diego. I appreciate it. I'm only drinking water tonight, but I will cheers you for it. So cheers. Thank you very much. This is checking. Okay, so it looks like we do have. Yeah, look, there we go. We've got data screen LSB, data screen MSB that's been set up. Okay, let's take a look at this screen MSB and screen LSB when we come to it, because there is this bullet clear as well, which is actually clearing the bullet from that position. Actually, is this no screen SM? It looks like, yeah, screen SM is the offset. Okay, so got screen SM, and I don't know what screen SM is, but it's there. I'm assuming that's somewhere in here, or it's in the 0 page or something. It's not here, is it? Okay, let's check 0 page. Just trying to do this in a sensible way that's efficient. I don't want it to be too slow, you see. So it could get messy if it starts being. Where the hell is Screen SM coming from? Or is it is this self mod? That's why. It's this here. Okay, that's good. Well, it means we can actually we can see what's there. So this is the actual screen address that we've got here. So we should be able to read that by grabbing this, because if we've gone into that routine, then we've come into here. So in that case, all we really need to do is store our y offsets so that we can use it later. So what I'm going to do here is store y, and I'm going to put that in. Now test all entities versus its position. Okay, so I'm going to put it in a routine down here somewhere. We need to leave x alone, and if we use y, okay, so we'll do it. We'll do it here, I guess. We'll let's call it destroy entity. Okay, so this routine is basically going to take our values. So first of all, I'm going to restore the y when it's finished. That means we can easily kind of call this function and not worry about anything. It should be relatively quick. I mean, it's not. It's going to crap out the moment it doesn't match, and we've made sure we've done this in an order that that's easy to match. So that matches the quickest first. So or the the most efficient way through this, except for the fact we've got put these ands in there, so it's slowed down a little bit. But it should ignore bullets pretty quickly if they're not. If they've not hit anything. If they have hit anything, then we jump into here. But you should only really get 1 or 2 bullets hitting on a single frame. Trying to find the best Mega 65 screen mode to do 3D on. So I've found so far that the full color mode is the one to use, because nibble color mode would make drawing to like if you want to use bitmap. So the kart racer is done in full color character mode, so you just create strips of full color mode characters down the screen and then treat it like a bitmap, because you really do need to use DMA if you're going to do anything kind of 3D. You're going to need DMA, and for that you need to have your screen laid out like that for the DMA line draw and line fetch to work properly. Anyway, enough of that. That's for Saturday. Okay, so we're going to jump into here, but what I'm also going to do while we're in here is I'm going to grab what's going to be our offset index. And I'm going to store that from up here. So this is going to be like that. So what this is going to do is going to do all our fetch, and then it's going to store that offset index into here, so that if we do need to come in here, we can then go ahead and kind of apply that to our to our screen location, which we will grab. Let me put the bullets over here so I can see that over here. Right. So what we need to grab is this value here. So what we're going to do, we're going to grab that and we're going to stick it in 0 page. There's so much self mod going on in here. This would be an absolute nightmare. Tassera Mercenary. I can't remember what those games are like, but I think you'll still need to use DMA to do that kind of. Oh wait, is that more like? Hang on. I need to remember what that looks like now. Oh, okay, with that kind of fixed view. Yeah, I absolutely think a Doom engine is very, very possible on the Mega 65. I mean, it's not a huge jump from what I've already got on the kart racer, and the only reason the kart racer is uh slightly problematic is just because of some of the glitches in the DMA thing. So I think that can be, and it could. I'm pretty sure it could be optimized way more than it is right now. This is the first attempt at doing it. So, but you could easily take that engine and turn it into Doom. And actually, if you look at how the Doom engine works, it's very, very similar to what I'm doing now. But it just has kind of the viewing is done a little bit differently because it treats each like area as a different height. So all you'd have to do is just change kind of where on the screen it's drawn to. So it wouldn't be scanned down the screen quite the same. But well, you could scan it down the screen kind of the same. It depends how you set it up, but you could certainly do it. I certainly think you could do it, um, and it would be pretty nice as well. But I don't want to do another 3D. I like doing the kart racer because I think it's just cool to see we can do that on the Mega 65. But it's not really what I want to be making on these old machines. Um, but I will share the Mode 7 code once it's up and running perfectly, so you can kind of mess around with it. Although trust me, it's the messiest code ever. It really is terribly messy. So. Okay, so we need to get our screen address. So this is our screen address of the bullet, and then we need to apply our offset indexes to actually turn this into the top left corner of the screen address. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to first of all I'm going to create an offset that we need to add. So if this is see, what was it, chart origin offset X, comma Y. And basically, if this is equal to 0, I need to think how to do this. If this is equal to 0, I don't need to do anything. If it's equal to 1, then it stays as 1. So let's start with Y, actually. So if this is 1, we need to times whatever this is by 40. So I think the easiest way to do this will be to do this. No Y, right? So this is our no Y. Otherwise, then our value is 40. But now we need to basically add this value to it. We either get 40 or 41 or 0. So 0, 1, 40 or 41. Okay, so at this point here, the carry flag here. At this point here now, we now have those values, and this tells us how much we need to offset this value. So if we take, so now we need to set the carry flag, then we need to load bullets. What is this routine? Oh no, that's add bullet. I don't want the add bullet one. I don't want add bullet. I want update bullet is what I need, which I hope actually has that address. It doesn't look like it does. Oh, it has it here. Oh no, it does. Yeah, sorry. So it is screen SM. It's the same thing. Update bullets, screen SM. All right. This is our LSB, and we need to subtract this value from it. So Do that. So much self-modding here, but I don't care. As long as it works and we're not actually jumping to any of these addresses or anything, it should be fine. Okay, so this gives us the LSB. So now I'm going to use zero page to do this. So we need just a temporary zero page area for this. Screen point, collision point, persistence lookup, no, map lookup. Where are these being used? Let's find out what those are being used in. Register entities. I don't trust those. I feel like I'm just gonna use another location to do this. I think we're kind of all right. So rubbish on font fetch. Door fetch. Font fetch will be fine because we don't. Yeah, we can use this. Robotron. Let's call it screen pods. That'll do. Yeah, because these are just used for fetching target stuff on the screen, so we can reuse these quite easily. I like this song as well. Okay. And then all we need to do is take the MSB, subtract 0 from this. Okay, now we have a value in 0 page. So now we can do something like this. We can do okay. Now, what we need to know now is how many characters we need to clear and what order we need to do them in. So this is going to be dependent on whether which one of these, where's it gone? Which one of these sections we're in here. So we kind of need another well, we always need to clear the first one, and then it depends on the other ones. So this is going to come down to how many characters we need to. Okay, so let's do so we'll have 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, like that. So it's just going to tell us which one of these it belongs to. And it's just easier to do it with the table because it's going to be quicker. Okay, let's write down what we've been doing here because I've not put any comments in here. Okay, so this bit here. Look at the screen position object for top left of entity. Calculate the top left screen pos. And then here, work out which size we clear 1 by 1. Was it 1 by 1, 1 by 2, 2 by 1, 1 by 2, 2 by 1. Okay. Let's put that in the X register and let's just make sure we store the X register as well. Okay, so now the X register contains the value that we're in. So we always need to store in the top corner, so that doesn't change. It's this one here. Okay. Okay, so at that point we're complete if we're in the first one. Otherwise, we move on to the next one, which is we'll go one across. So we first of all we need to check, is x equal to 0, 1? Hey, Friond. I almost said friend because it reads almost like that. Hey, Friond, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Cheers. I'm drinking water tonight. No vodka. Or is it? Hey, Cosmin. What you see is what you get if you're lucky, but probably something completely. Okay, so next row is this one here. This is top right. Let's put some labels in here. So top right, top left. Thank you, Nikamo, for the bits. Appreciate it. Cheers. Seems heavily weighted to stare at screening those. He's just a lucky sod. So actually, this is bottom left. Up the next row. Let's make it nice and simple. Okay, so we straight away we store in the top left because we always need to store in that. If we're of type 0, in other words, if we're 1 by 1, let's put these on separate rows and then I can see exactly what numbers they are. So if we're on this one, we're done at that point. If we're on 1 by 2, then we need to jump to the bottom left. There's no top right character. However, if we do need a top right character, we just need to do this. And then at this point, if we do a top right character and we're on this one, we're complete at that point. So and then this is the bottom left, which we only do if we are on 1 by 2 or this one, 3. So 3 we never have to test, we just do everything. So oh no, this is bottom left. I've not done bottom right yet, have I? Okay. So if it's bottom left and we're on this one, then we need to finish. So this becomes 28. So we're on the next row. And then we need to compare x to 0, 1. And if it's that, complete. Otherwise, we're at the bottom right. And the bottom right is only ever drawn on this one. In all of the cases, it's not drawn. So that should clear it completely. So now if we run this, we should hopefully see them disappear. Shape programming. How you port in the game? Is it a matter of taking the 8-bit ASM and finding the equivalent in C64-bit? No, it's the other way around. So we're not using any of the original code, although we do have access to the original Unity code. So this was done on Steam, Switch, and Android, and we're just taking we're basically going through videos, and I've got some kind of some help from a publisher to make the maps as well. and just basically recreating the game as close as we can in unknown symbol chart origin offset y. Weird. Getting the game as close as we can. It is there though. What the hell? That's weird. I've done something wrong here. Yeah, just taking the original game and trying to recreate it as closely as possible. And so far, it's kind of working out all right, I think. Oh, have I done this? Oh, I've done it outside of the class. That's why. It's because it's in a cartridge. It gets a bit mixed up. Yeah, so as SP says, taking the original game, I should have written a .NET VM for the C64. Just write a Unity player there. Yeah, no worries. Simple job. Simple job. Bullets. Obviously, you need to use capitals. Don't it? Yeah. All right. So it's not without its challenges. I mean, the original game, obviously, running on a PC has a lot of power behind it, but we're able to kind of get fairly close to it. Obviously, particle counts are a bit lower. The screen size is a little bit different as well. Yeah, so the original Cecconoid is inspired by the original Cybernoid games on the 8-bit machines. So the author of this, Gareth Noyce, took inspiration from Cybernoid and made a Steam game, a PC game based on that. So it had some like one of the effects we can't do on here is that there's a pixelation kind of chromatic aberration effect and a slight curvature to the look of the screen, and you can kind of see individual pixels with a little bit of chromatic aberration on them. Obviously, that's something we can't do, but that's been done to make it look like a retro machine, whereas we're actually writing it for a retro machine. So it's definitely going to work better for us in that case. But there are things. Yeah, there we go. They're disappearing now. Okay, great. Okay, so the next thing now is to add some little particle explosions to them as well. So that's really cool that works. Okay, good. That's a relief. So let's take a look at what our memory is like now with that chunk of code in there. I mean, we're getting close to the limit, but it's not a huge deal. As I say, we can probably refactor some of this out into other places, or we can tidy up the code a little bit. There's huge chunks of code in here this is the temporary stuff. I can get rid of that now. I don't need that at all. It's just taking up space in the file. Don't need that at all. All right. As I say, if we have to expand the memory out a little bit, then I will do that. That's not a problem. I'm just trying to think. Is what was at that location? Game code high. See, I don't think anything's loaded into game code high. So actually, I think we've got a whole area where we can use that block. Yeah, see, there's a whole chunk here that we're not even using. So actually, we've got plenty of room here. So 64 is an 8-bit pattern specifically for CBM 64. No, it's just an 8-bit. Wait, you. I'm getting confused. I'm not going to reach it. I'm not going to reach it. I'm confusing myself. I'm too tired to work this out. Okay, cool. Yeah, there you go. T64 is Commodore 64. Yeah. Okay, so all we need to do now is spawn some particles here. Now, the thing is, we've got some routines that are doing particle kind of adding some particles to the screen, but they're quite cumbersome. And I'm just wondering if it's worth changing that to actually make a kind of, well, not quite a macro, but well, yeah, I guess it could be a macro. But that kind of turns it into, nice chunk of code that's in the particle system, so I'm not having to add it to everything. So if you look at where is it? Player is one, I think, and destroyable's another one, right? So look at all of this particle code here that's going on. Lots and lots of stuff going on in the particle, and this is all just to spawn some explosion particles, which is exactly what we want to do right now, right? We want to create some explosion particles. So I feel like this could be refactored out into something. So let me copy this. This is making two particles here. Let me go into the particle file and see if we can mess around with that. Let's have a look how much room we've got. The memory is really concerning me now. So, okay, I think we're fine. We've got plenty of room down here to increase the particle stuff. So let's take a look at the particles file and see if we can't turn this into just a nice macro that gets called and reduces this down a bit by having it already set up somewhere else. So we've got the get next particle, and then from that point on, we're using the Y register to kind of set a few things up here. So it's an update particles. Okay. Where's the get next particle? I'm not seeing where that is. Or is that in particles, get next particle? Oh, it's here. Okay. And then update. Okay. So let's leave that alone. Let's scroll down to the bottom down here. Let's leave those right on the bottom, but let's create a add particle function. But also we'll do a macro as well. So the macro actually, in fact, I'm going to put this down here because the macro needs to be outside of the scope of this. So okay, so let's have a look at what we need to add. So we need to add screen position. So this is the actual physical screen position that it's being put in. Then the X and Y position. So we need to supply those because there's two different systems going on. There's an update system which clears the sprite, clears the particle, and then redraws it again. That needs the screen position in order to do that. Then there's the char X and char Y, which is used for animating the particle. So if a particle is moving left and right, for instance, say a particle is moving to the right, if we just use the screen position, what will happen is that as it exits the right side of the screen, it will just reappear on the left down here, but one row down. So we need the X and Y to separate that kind of screen position into an actual bounding rectangle that we can stay within. That way we can properly kind of monitor it and keep the speed decent as well, because the speed needs to be efficient for this. So the thing is, here we've got these values in the accumulator. You know, they're not set values. They're going to be parameters we need to pass in. So I think the best way to do this is to store these in some values here, and then the add particle can read store them in values in here, and then they get read in. The problem with that is it's going to be a little bit slow. So I think the best way to do this is to pass pointers in for these. So I wish it would accept that. That would be brilliant if it would do that, but it's not going to, is it? So we're going to pass pointers in for those. And then we've got fine X and fine Y. Oh, but look, these have got values as well. Shit, see, this is the thing. I don't think this is actually going to make it more efficient at all. Because there's just pointers for everything. So in the case of these, they're just pointers, right? But these ones are using indexed values as well. So this suddenly becomes very, very awkward. So actually, I don't think that's going to help at all. So I'm just going to get rid of that. I was hoping that would be a bit easier. I'll have a think about that. I think this is something that we might be able to refactor out at some point. But I think for now, I'll just have to leave it. So instead, what we'll do is we'll just copy this. We'll drop it into where is it? Robotron here. We'll add 2 particles for every explosion, and we'll just go through and just change these things in here. Yeah, I think it would end up being self-mod. I think for sure. It kind of has to be, really. I can't think of any other way of doing it. It can't be macros. That's the thing. I'm not going to do it right now though, but it's definitely something when I come to do a bit, because I'm going to do a refactor pass in a couple of weeks' time, where we're just going to go through each class, just seeing if we can shrink it down a little bit and stuff. I'm just kind of eager to kind of get on with it at the moment. The good thing about this particular thing is it's dynamically loaded piece of code. So as long as it stays within our memory constraints for the dynamic code area, then it doesn't matter. As soon as you leave the screen, this memory is free again. So it really doesn't matter too much. But it would be nice to use a consistent kind of particle system, like add particle system. It's just we've got so many variables in here that this is why it's a bit of a problem. Also, I notice as well, get next particle gives, so if the next particle is the very last particle in the list, it's going to fail. So I've just noticed something that's a massive kind of problem here. Because this +1 is not necessarily correct. Which is a bit of a bug, really. So I think what I'm going to do for now, just as a workaround, in get next particles. Oh, this is why this was in here. Oh, v particles -2. Oh no, it does already. Oh, it's already doing that. Also, I've spelt that wrong. But whatever. That's why the -2 is here. It's allowing 2 particles at a time. So when you get the next particle, it's actually making sure there's 2. It does wrap the particle list around, but this is actually making sure that we use, there's always 2 spaces ahead. So that's good. So I'd already thought of this. That's nice. Okay, so screen point. So we know the screen position is here. So we can just take this value. We'll go with the top left position because in most cases there's always going to be a character drawn there. And in 2 out of the, well, actually, no, in only 1 it's going to be, tell you what we can do. We can draw it in the bottom right of that character, and then that way it will always be, it will already, yeah, when you scratch your head over something that's already thought about. Yeah, I'd already done it apparently, and made it dynamic as well. So you can change the number of particles and it will still always leave 2 free. I wondered why, because we would have seen bugs otherwise, because it would have been writing into these positions here, and then like here it would have overlapped into decals, which would have done some horrific stuff. I'd imagine it would have changed these, and then yeah, we'd have got all sorts of weird problems. So it kind of makes sense. Okay, so we will put it in the top left character, but we'll put it in the bottom right of that top left character because we've got fine control over where the particle spawns as well. So we don't need to do a destroy offset, so that's good because we already have the position. We will store both particles in that position. Okay, so the code's already shrinking a little bit. Okay, so this is the character X and the character Y. So we have that here. Actually, we have it at this point here. So I feel like this needs to be stored somewhere. So let's store that at, let's just call it char X, that's fine. Right, entity char X, destroy entity char Y. And then we can put them in here. Okay, I thought so. Good choice. You put this on. You come out. Good choice. I think it's my favorite tune in the entire list. Okay, fine X and fine Y. So these are always going to be in the bottom corner. So we're just going to put 7. And that stores in all those. So it's always going to be the bottom corner of the character because there's 7 pixels across, about 8 pixels across, 7 being the last one. The last one in both X and Y is going to put us in the bottom right. And then we need the delta. Okay, so this is just going to decide how these things are going to explode. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make them explode in slightly different directions each time. Well, actually, it doesn't even need to be in different directions each time. They just need to be different from each other. So if we make this, I couldn't tell you what what it's like, what these values are going to do, to be honest. So so let's just put some like temporary values in first. So let's put FF in that one and 0, 1 in that one. So that means 1 is going forwards, X, and 1 is going backwards, X, and then we will make them go backwards, right? So they'll both go up like that. So it'll be 2 particles that kind of go up and out. Okay, right. So let's give that a try and see what happens. It's probably all going to go tits up right now. I need a break in a minute, so. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it is samples, if not all of it, but still incredible. Really, really incredible. And it sounds so good. I think it's a mix. I think it's probably a mix of them both, because I can't imagine. I don't know how big the SID is. I'd have to have a look how big the SID is, but I couldn't imagine that all fitting into 64 kilobyte if it was completely samples. So maybe it's not. Maybe it's a bit more. And I don't know if it's 1 or 2 SIDs. I think it's just 1, but yeah, go perfect. It's actually kind of cool. They don't have a lot of gravity though. Is there a way we can change the gravity on those? really small, like 30. It must be a mix then, or they're using very very short samples and some clever kind of trickery to make them sound longer than they really are. I'm guessing things like drum patterns and stuff are going to be quite small and can actually be, because of the nature of a drum being quite noisy in terms of the kind of sound, a noise as in like um interference noise, not noise as in kind of loud. um I guess you can have quite low sample rate on those. um yeah, and then I imagine that, yeah, for things like the echoes and stuff, they're probably doing some weird stuff. Also, there's a lot of filter stuff going on in there, you can hear. It's really interesting. I'd love to I'd love to really dig into the player for that. It's his own wave patterns. Yeah, I mean they're it's just incredible what he does with it. Okay, so gravity wise, it would be better if they, or maybe they just need to explode up a little bit more or something, out a bit more. So let's try that. And probably get rid of the flash as they hit, because we know we've hit, so we don't need the flash. The flash is kind of distracting from the thing. They also need to drop the diamonds behind them as well. So we'll do that in a second as well. There we go. Okay, cool. So I think if we put the diamond drops in now, they'll look pretty decent. But I'm going to take a quick break. So I'm going to take a few minutes break. And then I shall come back and we'll add the little diamond drops in as well. Because then the next thing we need to do is we need to count how many we're killing. Seems quite hard with so many Robotrons. It should be okay, I think. We also need to make them randomly spawn, but we'll deal with the spawning once we've got the full flow working. But it's working. We've got actual working in. So, how many screens have you done in this game? And now, and have a lot to go. So, oh, there's tons to go. But what we're doing is we're creating all the building blocks for these screens. So when we get to other screens, it will just be enabling stuff we've already done. So while it seems like we've not really done a lot in terms of screens, we've actually, I need to sort the screen shake out as well. I notice it's chopping off at the top. It's mostly because we've done all the hard stuff up front. So we've done all the kind of the mines and the doors and switches and lasers and robotrons now as well, and a few other kind of architectural setups, like being able to dynamically load stuff in. There's still more of that to do, but as we move through the screens, you'll find that there'll be less and less of it to do. So you'll find some screens are done like that really quickly, and then other ones we might have to spend a week or two developing a new kind of system that we don't have yet. So yeah, it will speed up later. We're doing quite well. I've said that we'd be finished around about April for the game. It's just as Nicomo asked that, which gives us about 6 months, which I think is plenty of time. Like how you do the work up front and then just put the map in and done. Yeah, that's exactly what I've been trying to do, trying to keep it. Oh, I know what that game is. I'm having a go at this one. Hang on. Um, yeah, I'm pleased I knew that one. PlayStation game that I knew. Woo. Yeah, so it will get faster, and I think 6 months is not bad. Is it a good game? It's not bad. I mean, it's a bit like kind of another world, if you like. It's that kind of lots of animation and stuff. It looks very very pretty. I mean, it's okay. I wouldn't say it's amazing, but it's okay. the thing is it was heavily delayed. So by the time it came out, it was kind of there were other games that were already kind of doing it, the similar sort of thing, but better, like Abe's Odyssey or Abe's, I forget what it's called now, Abe's Odyssey or whatever. So there were already games that were doing kind of the same thing, but with more polish, if you like. But it's not bad. It's not a bad game. Definitely worth a play if you haven't tried it before. Odyssey and Exodus. So there you go. All right, I shall be 5 minutes, guys. Be right back. And I'm back. Right, where's my drink? Okay, where are we at? Let's see. Take all the right windows open. It's the wrong window. That's the right window. There we go. Okay, so we need to spawn the little gem things that appeared. Now, they happen in here as well, in the destroyables item drops in this bit here. And it drops one of these things. So I'm just wondering, can we jump into here and just call this routine? Probably not. Let's have a look what it's actually doing. Okay, so yeah, so not easily, because it's actually removing an item from the persistence list, and we're not interested in doing that. All we need to do is basically, oh no, that's, oh, actually, I wonder, would they look better? Let's try that, because maybe that would be, I can't remember what it actually looks like in the original game. Let me find the, because if we can put the explosions in, it might be better. Videos, gameplay taster, there we go. No, they just oh no, there is a little explosion as well. Okay. Okay, let's try that then. In that case, let's so after all that, if we did this as well, which we have at char X and char Y. So if I grab char X and char Y, add explosion at char coordinates. So we've got a screen macro for this. No, we don't. It must be in here then. Is that? It's in explosions. Ah, okay. Add explosion at char type. Okay, so we've got two different types of explosion. Oh, we've got more than one type of explosion. At the moment, we only have one explosion by the looks of things, so we can add another. Let's just add the big explosion in for now, and we can maybe add a different one. Horizontal offset. Okay, so okay, let's see what happens when we just run it. We probably just need to change to a smaller explosion at some point. Also shakes screen. Yes, it does. I need to have a look if that does that on the original. It might not do on the original. That's actually kind of cool. I like that. Oh no, it doesn't shake the screen. Okay, it does it on the original though. Let's have a look. Oh damn it, I closed it, didn't I? See, this is what I mean about having the code done up front. So now we've got these little things we can just drop in various places. So we just need to basically add a smaller explosion in that, which we can do quite easily. Yeah, so there's no screen shake, but there is a tiny explosion. You can just about see it. So let's see if I can find that in the code in the. Okay, so in the assets we have, let's have a look. Art, textures, game. So there's the normal explosion, but there must be a tiny one in here as well. Not seeing it though, but I bet it's in here somewhere. Unless he's just shrunk, because the thing with Unity is it's very easy to just go, I want that to be half this, half scale sort of explosion, because it doesn't look like it's in here looking at all of this. Well, that's fine. We can recreate that ourselves. So let's go and pause it on one of the things exploding. Can I remember what the advanced one frame is? There we go. So let's go back a couple of frames. Yeah, so it's just like a, I don't know if you can see that. It's like a half. Oh, there is a big flash as well. So there's a flash. See, we can see that in the. Oh, damn it! I had it nicely in place, and then there we go. Right. It also looks like it's being rotated a little bit as well. Maybe that's just particles piled up. There's the diamond appearing in the middle, but then there is a small animation. It's not in here, definitely not in here. Unless that's it. I don't think it is though. No. Nothing in here, but we can make it, that's fine. So let's load up the sprites. Really need to sort this crap out. I don't know where anything is anymore. Let's figure out where things are first. No. Yeah, so this is what we've... okay, so it is a 2-frame animation. And if we look in explosions, we can see... Yeah, we have 2 frames of animation like this, so... So let's call it animation 2, like that. And at the moment, that's pointing to 42 and 43. So this starts at 40 here. Let's make this so that it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, like that. There we go. Right. So now I can see it nice and neatly. So I think if we, what is this? I don't know what that is. So this is our masking stuff that we have to leave as it is. I think we need a blank sprite, so I have to leave that one as well. We've got the bigger enemies here, which we need for one of the other screens, one of the other Robotron screens. We've got the small enemy, which we don't need now because we're using characters for that, but I'll leave that in for now. See what? That's the... Oh, that's the switch thing. Okay, so I think we'll just make some new ones here. Okay, so can I take that and scale that down? I bet I can't, can I? There's not going to be any way to do that. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this and I'm going to scale it down manually. So Never remember what the paste is on this. It's added an extra sprite on the end. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to scale this down to about half. So I'm going to do that by taking 4 off each side like that. It's not 4. That's 4. It's 4 like that. And then I just need to round this out. It's still a bit big though, isn't it? I think it's still too big. It needs to be about the size of the character itself. So let's take another row off. It's a little bit bigger than the character, so a little bit more. 3, 4, 3. That's 8 now. Okay. So I need to round this into... So, I mean, it's kind of close enough, I guess. Because, I mean, otherwise it's going to look like a diamond, which I don't want. So I'm going to go with that kind of slightly elongated look to it. And I'm going to copy that into there. I'm going to shrink that down in the same way that this is. So I'm just going to cut a chunk out of it, basically. So I'm going to try and leave it kind of on the edges here. That's probably okay, I think. Yeah, there we go. So it's 2 more sprites here. So these we need to add 4 to the MSB of these. So it'd be 70 and 71. So let me save those. Let me export those. I have no idea where these are going, by the way. So I just hope I get the right file, because I have no idea. This is all over the place. There we go. And turn this into 70 and 71. So 70, 71. Right, and now we need to have a look at the sprite update thing. So there's a type somewhere that's going to be stored, this thing here, which I assume is being stored. Yeah, so that's being stored in the explosion type. So then when it's being drawn, it needs to grab from, well, this is going to be referenced somewhere. So let's find where that's referenced. So at the moment, it's just using whatever is in explosion frames and no more. Where's the update for that? Anim index. So if we always have 8 frames to it, I'm assuming that's what's going on here. Demo group called Lithium. That's a cool name. I like that name. Yeah, so it's comparing to 8. So it's always expecting 8 frames. But then when it gets to here, what it's doing is it's always looking in this location. So instead, what we should be doing is we should make this a self mod as well. So let's call this okay, and then we'll make a table. So so to make this as efficient as possible, I'm going to split it into 2 pieces like this, and this is going to be the lower parts. Actually, the first byte should, well, actually, it doesn't matter if we use but what am I doing? There we go. That, okay. So now if we grab the type, we should be able to fill this in. So we'll do that after this. So we've transferred the anim index to here, but now we need to grab the tables. So grab correct animation. So we can do that by grabbing data.anim type. No, is it not? Is it just type? It's just type. Okay. But that needs to be comma X as well. So we'll do that up here before we go into this bit down here. Because we're using, this is where we're using gtemp actually. So as a temporary store for the X register. So before we bash the X register here, we'll do the correct animation. So, actually, it means we're going to need to bash the the X register anyway. So we'll make sure we restore it here to use it. And then here we can do version and table LSB X, and we'll do -1 here. The reason we do -1 is because the table obviously is going to be 0 index, but we want to use 1 index because the type of 0 means there is no explosion, and we'll store that at explosion anim +0. Okay, cool. So now we should be able to add a different type of explosion in here by changing this here, the type here. So probably make these into constants, although because of the way kick assembler works, they have to be called labels. So explosion, let's call it small, equals 2, put semicolons on the end, and large. Yeah, and then that means I can go in here and change this to explosions.large. Explosions. Okay, did that all build? No, we got a failure. Oh, we got a failure because I tried to use. Oh, where's that gone now? I get so used to writing beef with the immediate mode on it. Pretty good progress tonight. I'm quite pleased. Considering how tired I am, I'm surprised I've managed to do this at all. Okay, right, so okay, we're not getting any explosion now. Okay, so first of all, I want to check that the other explosions work. So let's just go back into that other room and check that those work, and I've not horribly broken something here. Looks like I should be all right, but so we're looking for explosions around these destroyables. Yep, let's see that explosion worked fine there and there as well. So I think maybe the sprites are wrong. Let me check in there, in here. Because in this mode we can quickly go and check the sprite memory. If I can remember which is the correct screen, which I never can. That'll do. I can find it in here. Okay, so let's load the screen up. I should be able to find it down D00 onwards, roughly. Although it's probably going to show up as, oops, I didn't really want to do that. Don't know what I've just done. Probably caused some kind of crash somewhere, but okay, so this is going to show us, unfortunately, it's going to show us thingy RAM, IO RAM, so I need to change it to 3.0, and there we go, I can see the sprites now. Okay, so as we move down, we should be able to see all the various sprites. Right at the end of this list, we should see our two new ones, which are not there actually, so that's why we're not seeing them. They're not there. I did save it, didn't I? I did not save it. Okay, there we go. Right. I hadn't pressed the final button. Something bit me on my knuckle last night. There's still a mosquito in here that's causing havoc in the middle of the night. Goddamn thing! If I could find it, I'd splat the hell out of it. Okay, I mean they're explained, but they don't quite look as cool as they did before. Maybe the explosion needs to be a little bit bigger, or a few more frames. Maybe let's add a couple of. Let's make it a bit bigger and add a couple of frames to it. So let's extend it out. Actually, that looks better, doesn't it, than it did before? God damn it! All right. Anyway, let's make it twice as wide. Well, not twice as wide, but an extra row of pixels in each direction, like so. It doesn't look quite as round anymore. That'll do. Well, actually, if I add another row in and then do that, yeah, that'll do. All right, so that's what we're going to start with. I have no idea how many sprites we need here, but you've written the ASM file. I've written everything in this. Yeah. Welcome to the stream as well, Makulik, or M4 Kulik, however you want that pronouncing. But yeah, everything imported here is all been written myself. It's taken a while, to be honest, but I've only ever done this on stream, so I've only ever done 3 hours at a time, and you can probably count at least half an hour of that each time with just chatting nonsense. So in essence, we've probably only done about 120 hours of coding. But yeah, there's a lot in there. I think the only thing I did not on stream was the cart loader code and the multiplexer, because the multiplexer was one I used in the Parasol Star stuff. So because of the way that we don't have as many particles when things explode here, we're going to add a little bit more animation to the sprite. The reason for that is just because, well, if we're gonna be 100% accurate, then we need to make. We're still going to have to make some sacrifice. Thank you for the follow, Makulak, as well. Very much appreciate it. Cheers. We are going to have to make some sacrifices, and by sacrificing the particles, these explosions don't look quite as good. So in some places we're going to have to make sacrifices, and in some places we're going to have to enhance a little bit as well. So can't you add pseudo particles to the sprites? Yeah, I can actually. That's a very good point. We can add a couple into the sprite as well. So we'll add a bit more animation to the sprite, but also, yes, we'll add a bit more. So add some kind of simple particle effect into it. I mean, it'd be very simple, but we can add something just to enhance it. So what we're going to do is we're going to slowly cut out a piece on this. And can I make that appear in here as an animation? Yeah, let me try that. Let me get rid of this in here like that. I can't remember how to add it to animation now. Tools. No. Where's the animation add button? No. How do I? No, I can't drop it in there. Oh, I didn't notice that's a new thing. Set the frame, then the little downer on the end of the ribbon. Ah, yeah, thank you. 5 points for that. 5 points to Mad Beagle. I'm going to give his first points of the night. Select him. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, cool. So let's do it a little step at a time, and we'll keep it running in here so we can. Okay, cool. I mean, we're not going to see anything because it's the same, right? So let's do some work on this now. So let's start by cutting a tiny chunk out in this corner. So why can't I do that now? Oh, why can't I delete with the right mouse button? What's going on there? What have I done? Oh, select all at once. Oh, god damn it, yeah. Thank you, Mad Beagle. Oh, there we go. Seems to be working now. Right, okay, cool. So we're going to chop. Oh, no, it's not. What? It's off. The pixel's off by a little bit for some reason. Is it because of the zoom level, maybe? What? Right, if I draw a line like that, I can delete it. Okay. But I can't delete everything here. What is going on there? I can only delete half of it for some reason. Okay, fine. I'll just add. I can't even add background coloring. What's going on there? Yeah, I'm using color. It doesn't seem to matter. I don't know what you. Yeah, I think there's a bug. Hang on. Let me close it down and reopen it. I haven't updated this for a while, so it wouldn't surprise me if it is a bug. Oops, new folder pressed. I've obviously done that before because I've seen them in here. Has overlay ticked. Oh shit! All right, I was overlaying from somewhere else. Obviously, the tiredness is kicking in. Yeah. All right. Cool. Thank you. Okay. Cool. Right. So let's start by just taking a small piece out like that. And then I'm gonna. Oops. It shouldn't be in that one. It should be in the next one. Oh yeah, has overlays ticked on them all for some reason. No wonder it was looking weird. Okay, cool. Right, start again. So I'm just going to take a chunk out like so. And then we're going to grow that. So Control Shift V, that's the one. A bit more, I think. Be careful not to take too much straight away. And here we can go to town. So we're going to bring it right down. Right up like that. There we go. And as Nick most said, we're gonna I'm gonna add some extra particles in here as well. We need Acmefin points for really bad jokes. That's a good point. That's a very good point. We don't need more point systems though. It's already enough to keep track of. It's already a bit of a kind of admin nightmare. It's too much, isn't it? Let's just go with that, I think. So the reason I'm going for 4 frames is because our frame count is 8 for this animation. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create some little particles, which I'm going to just zoom out in different directions at this point. So you kind of see that animation as well. I just seem to be getting everything wrong at the moment with this. Oh, I see. I see what I've done wrong. Hang on. But one animation, it should just be like that. There we go. It's going to be kind of like that. So I don't like these stuck pixels here, so I'm going to fix those fairly quickly. Do it in this one. So they're kind of required on the other side. Let's do one pixel at a time. So I'm going to make this one kind of drop down this way. This one can shoot down, so I curve it a little bit to the side. So and then this one here will do almost straight down. That probably doesn't need to. Can I fit another one in there? Yeah, that's fine. And then this one will kind of be almost straight up and then down. So we'll go. Actually, no, it can just kind of fly off like that, I guess. And that will disappear at the edges there. But yeah, there we go. So that gives it a bit more oomph to it. All right, let's try that out and see how that looks. These folders are so bad. Good night, Mythical Dirt. Thanks for all your work as well on the GBA game. It's I look forward to seeing that. It's really exciting, actually. The game that we kind of did together as a stream. All the levels and everything. It's very, very much a community game. Is going to be released on multiple systems. It's kind of cool. Okay, I've got the animations. I forgot to update the animations in here, so. Now, you could kind of argue that you would want the first frames to happen a bit quicker. Let's see how it looks. We might kind of level those out a little bit to make them happen slightly differently to how they are at the moment. So like 1, 2, 2, 3 or something. So that the animation's a bit more kind of balanced in the way it looks. Oh man, that looks actually pretty good. I like that. Oh yeah, I like that. That looks really nice. I don't know how well you can see that on stream. Let me make it a little bit bigger. I was very pleased with that. That's nice. In your job, you're working as well as ASM? No. Well, I mean, no, not really. I'm a cybersecurity engineer, so there are some things where I might reverse engineer something and look at some ASM, but not really writing ASM. 5 AMK points for the particle thing. Yeah, I will give you 5 for that, just so that Andy can sweat a little bit. When's the next charity stream? Oh, I don't know. Probably it's going to be next year anyway, because I've got to move soon. So possibly next year. What I'd like to do is Mega 65 charity stream, but it'd be nice if I could do that when the actual machine is out. So maybe Mega 65. I don't know. Maybe I'll just do another C64 game. I really don't know. The thing is though charity streams are difficult. They really do take it out of me. The Luma one screwed me up for about a week because it was 16 hours long. It was crazy. They look really nice. I like that. Can you start doing? I don't know what I don't know what the charity is going to be. 12 hours Z80. It take me 12 hours to really write a simple thing in Z80. Time for another game hacking stream, I reckon. Game hacking stream. Yeah, I haven't done one of those for a while actually. I think once we've finished with the kart racer game and Cecconoid, then I'll start shuffling things around a little bit again, and because I want to do some Mega Drive stuff, but I refuse to start looking at the Mega Drive until I'm done with all of this. So I want to get my commitments out of the way first, and then I'll consider like changing the streams around a little bit. I really enjoy doing the gaming on the Tuesdays, but it's a nice break actually to just no pressure, just a bit of gaming with Sean, which is kind of nice, and it's an opportunity for us to kind of get Sean to play some games that he wouldn't normally play. So because he's never going to bloody stream them on his own, he's never going to do it. And yeah, welcome, Mrs. Speaker. Good to see you again. It's been a while. Finally woke up early to catch a bit. Yeah. Are you Australia as well, Mr. Speaker? As long as you can wine on. Oh yeah, they'll definitely be. There'll always be drinking involved. If I do the dissect streams, it'll probably be on the Thursday. So uh, he never streams on his own. Well, he does. He does stream, but I don't think he's ever. Well, maybe he will at some point. But he's had a Commodore for probably 2 years now, and he's turned it on once, I think. So it'd be good to get him get him playing some of those games. So, but he's been streaming building keyboards and stuff. So he builds mechanical keyboards. So yeah, now the diamonds. Yeah, exactly. So let's take a look at how we need to do that. So barrel or spike. So this is where it works out what we need to drop, and then this is what we drop. Add item. So it's actually quite simple looking at this. So let's take a look at the routine in add item and see what we need. So accumulator is the Y pos, X register is the X pos, and I'm assuming Y. No, it's not the item type. Oh, Y is the type. Okay, so all right. Let's add that in so it's obvious. Let's go and copy that and paste it in here. Okay, so we've done the explosion. Explodes. God, I cannot type it. This is the other thing I've noticed as well, is my typing has got. What am I doing? Explode. Jesus. This is what I mean about my brain. My brain is not working. Is not really working that well now. So this ASM syntax is kick assembler. So this is for 6502 machines. I think it's kind of primarily been targeted at the C64 because it has things like C64 basic kind of stuff. But you can use it for other machines. I don't think you exclusively have to use C64. There's no reason it wouldn't work on another system. You just have to write. You just have to write a few more macros to do some of the C64 kind of stuff. So, for instance, you've got constants like green, which are going to be completely useless on a BBC Micro, for instance, or it's not going to have the same value anyway. So, another reason I don't really use those macros. Not well, I mean, it's a lame reason not to use the macro. I just know the numbers for the colors. So, okay, so add diamonds. Okay, so the thing is, when we add the explosion, it's going to add particles in that place. Now, I'm not sure if those particles are just going to immediately disappear because the diamond's there. It's a possibility, in which case what we might have to do is move these backwards and forwards a little bit. So move one particle to the left of the diamond, one to the right of the diamond, so there's a few extras here. So and the 50 macros for constants for brown colors. God damn it. It's one bottle of water, and I've got a little bit more in the other bottles. So, how long have we got left? We've got about half an hour left. That's pretty easy. And so, just items dot add item. Right. So, what do we need? We need accumulator and to be the YPOS, XRES to be the XPOS, and YREG to be the type. I don't know why it's that way around. There's probably a reason for it, but let's not worry too much about that. So let's have a look. So the Y register is this thing here. So this decides which one's being dropped, and that is coming from here. So it's called an item star, which I'm guessing is a label up here somewhere. No, it's not. Is it in constants, maybe? Yes. Item star. Okay, so we can just use that constant directly. Okay, so we load Y with item star. Okay, cool. And then we just need to get these values again, which we've already got from here, but we just need to put them in different things. So accumulated char Y, X register, X pos. Okay, that should be enough. But what I think is going to happen here is a few things. Firstly, I think that the particles are not going to appear when we shoot something. And the reason for that is because the diamond's going to appear on top, and then the particles are just going to say, oh, we've hit something, don't display. So that's the first thing I think is going to happen. But we can get around that by just moving the particles out a little bit, and that will make sure that at least some of the particles are visible. We might not even really need the particles with the sprite explosion doing what it's doing. I mean, it looks kind of good enough to not use particles. But we'll try and leave them in if we can. The other thing that's potentially a problem is because the Robotron characters, the Robotron entities are characters as well. They're potentially going to move over the diamonds. Now, I'm not sure what the draw order is going to be for those, but I would guess that the Robotron will be drawn first, and then the items will be drawn on top. So we might have to do a little check in the item drawer that if we're in a Robotron screen, not to only to draw the item when there is actual blank space there, so that they can move over the item, move over the diamonds without the diamonds disappearing. Because there'll be other weird oddities. So there'll be a few oddities around this, I'm pretty sure, but we can find out. And then the other thing we need to do is add in. Oh, actually, that's not too bad. They are disappearing behind these, so you'll see they do disappear behind. But that's not bad at all. We can pick them up. That's really good. I'm happy with that. Okay, so we'll add a little check into the thing. Thank you, Anonymous Cheer, for the bit. Appreciate it. Cheers. By the way, you need to put an Easter egg into this game, something that is brown. It would be really funny if there was a way to like perform a certain action on a certain screen and the whole game goes brown. So instead of white, it just becomes brown. That might be a funny little Easter egg. But then it would have to be quite a complicated thing to do. Like maybe if you touch each corner of the first screen in the right order, so like you go up to this corner, then down to this one down here, then back over to this one, and then up to that one. And if you do that, then the screen goes brown or something. And then from that point on, the game is just in brown. My game went all brown, which is why I want it to be a kind of complicated sequence. That'd be a kind of, if you did that, you would be crazy. It would be an awkward sequence, and you could have it flash up a message as well. Brown mode. Okay, first thing I want to do actually before we go any further is I want to fix this this screen shake thing. So let me just check the IRQ screen shake H, and then I think what's happening is at some point the screen is resetting and screen shake index is still being called. So if that's at 0, now we jump to here, so we need to reset screen shake index. No, because what's happening is it's okay, we can set this to the last item in the screen shake index, so that's probably the easiest way of doing this. Then when it comes in here, subtracts 1. Okay, so if we set screen shake index to 1 whenever we go into a new screen, that should prevent that from happening. So the first time we come in, it will reset everything. Okay, so map loader. There's a whole chunk somewhere where these things are happening. Here, yeah. See, we're setting it to 1, which is wrong, because what will happen then is if if the screen is already in a screen shake, it doesn't put a new value back. Whereas if you set it to 1, it will still do the decrement down to 0, and then it will reset. So. This is a good tune as well. This was an accidental find, wasn't it? It was a good one though. Well, there was a bug then. Build error. No, okay. Not like there was. Yeah, see, it fixes it. Perfect. So I am noticing that there are no particles appearing. You can't see them. Oh no, they are appearing still. Okay. Okay, so we can leave that as it is. So all we need to do is make sure that the items appear behind other enemies, so other things. So the easiest way to do that is in this draw items routine. So this is actually going to be a little bit of a slowdown, but not a huge one, I wouldn't have thought, because we've got this value here. So this probably needs to be, this probably needs to go into a 0-page thing, I think, to do this properly. Are we using Y in here? No. Okay, so we can use the Y register. That's good. And we can do a check. All right, let's do that. And we don't need it from draw items. Okay, so let's have a look. So 0-page down here. This is for items, isn't it? So drawing the items, Robotron screen pos. Yeah, we can put it in here. This is kind of our catch-all kind of words that we can use here. So I'm going to call this item screen pos, because we're never going to be doing one and then halfway through doing another one. These are always going to be unique. They're always going to be independent of each other. So instead of storing it in here, I'm going to store it in here +1. And instead of storing it in here, I'm going to store it in here +0. And then what that will allow me to do is here, get rid of that. I can do this. I can say, oh, increase Y. There is a Y here. Okay, what's that Y doing? Data type, transfer the data type into here. Okay, it's fine. We can replace that here. Okay. Sugarmouth, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Catch us in the last 25 minutes or so. But welcome to the stream anyway. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a great. It's now Friday morning for me anyway. Well, I'd say Friday morning. It's 5 minutes past midnight. I mean, technically, yes, it's Friday morning, but okay. So we're going to check that location. If it's equal to 0, then we don't need to do anything. I mean, we can do something. If it's not equal to 0, then we don't do anything. We skip. Well, let's just use that one instead, and then this just becomes that. But I don't want to lose any of the original code just in case this is horrifically wrong. So I'm just going to comment out the code, and it's easy to put back. Right, so let's try that again. So this time we're going to do same thing again, but we're going to try and get the enemies to go over the diamonds, and hopefully they should not be drawn at that location. The only other thing we will need to do is probably in the clear routine. So the clear routine might actually still cut chunks out. So in fact, it might look worse right now. So instead of them appearing behind, what will happen is the diamond will disappear, and we might get some. Yeah, see, the diamond's completely disappearing now. It's not showing at all. You can see now that there's definite black squares. Okay, so okay, so I've got these. Oh no, they are the right way around. Okay, screen item, screen pause. Oh, okay, we're loading that value here. So actually, oops, let's do that on the next line. There we go. But the reason we're seeing those squares is because the clear items is also not taking into account whether or not it's been drawn. So I think what I need to do is put a little, just an extra thing in here to say drawn. And then when we go to clear, if it has been drawn, then it will clear it. So we can do that here just by going. So if it's equal to 0, we don't do anything. Otherwise, we will okay, so there's a little bit of extra work in here because we have to clear it from here. But if we do draw it in here, we can just go. Actually, we've already got a value in here that's non-zero, so we can just do this. It doesn't really matter. In fact, it's kind of nice that it shows what's been drawn in there because we can probably use that for some other stuff at some point. So I can get out of this room without dying straight away. Yeah, that's kind of... No, they're going behind still, aren't they? Damn it. I mean, it's not terrible, but I don't want it to do that. I want it to be... Okay, let's have a look at this. Okay, so... Not that one. Draw items. Here we go. So if there's already something in that location when we jump to here, what I'm going to do quickly is I'm just going to flip this around. I'll undo it. It doesn't really matter that it does this. I just want to see if that border flashes. You do need a Z index. You really do. Yeah, it's amazing how much I've relied on that now. Got really used to it. It's so easy to just kind of do stuff that normally would be a lot of kind of messing around. Okay, it's not quite... I feel like it's not reading the right location or something, but it definitely is. If it's 0, it goes to here. If it's non-zero, it flashes the border. And we're seeing border flash. Getting the screen position, yes. And it's definitely drawing something in that position. So we're seeing this happen. So why can't it read what's already in that position? Oh, Zeddings it's for the drawing order. Yes, need that as well. Yeah, it would be nice, wouldn't it? That's one of the things you get kind of a bit lazy with in CSS. That actually, you writing web pages, you're like, oh, I need this to be in front, and it's at the moment it's kind of dynamically added somewhere wrong, so you just use Z index to move it where you want. But also, yeah, 3D stuff. A Z buffer would be the best. That'd be really good. Yeah, that would be amazing actually. If you had like a Z buffer RAM as well. So when you draw something, you give it. I don't know how you do it, but it would be nice to have that ability to just say draw everything to the screen. But the first thing it does is it checks that the Z index of the thing you're about to draw is higher than the one that's already there. And then this would be super simple. Okay, what's going on here then? Okay, so it's definitely drawing the item because we're seeing it. And the item's clearing properly as well. So So the data drawn stuff is working, but it seems like this check for some reason is failing. Maybe the characters aren't there at that point, but they should be. Let's have a look at the game loop. So where's the game loop? Here. So also maybe I didn't save. It's not saved here. Wait a minute. Let's just try that. Let's just see if I'm being stupid. Something for the Mega 65 guys. Yeah, actually, it'd be very easy to implement on the Mega 65. Super, super easy to implement. Even without hardware support, you could pretty easily do that. No, they're still going behind, aren't they? Why are they going behind? I don't understand. I mean, well, I get why they're going behind, but why is this not picking up that there is as an item here? What are we doing? We're loading from the screen position. We're using index 0 here. That isn't changing here, and it's actually drawing because we're seeing the thing put into it must be working that way, right? So the Robotron entities are drawn to the screen, and then the diamonds are drawn on top because we're definitely seeing a cutout as they get drawn, right? So exchange the drawing order of the Robotron. The problem with that is because the Robotrons are drawn as part of the dynamic screen code. It could cause huge problems on other screens. There's a reason. I can't remember the exact reason, but there's a reason why the map updates happened here at the beginning, and the item updates are happening down here. So the thing is, the map updates are going to actually do the clears as well. So the map update is going to do. In fact, let's go and have a look at a screen update for screen. What screen number were we on? I forgot what screen number we were on. 20. All right. Screen 20 dynamic here. So you'll see we do just one update. Actually, that's all we do. The Robotron update itself contains the clear and the draw as well. So yeah, so we do draw, which actually I think the draw clears behind itself as well. Or is it the update entity data? I can't remember. Thank you for the bits, Anonymous Cheerer. Once again, thank you very much. Sorry, bear with me a second while I find this piece of code. Calculate entity data. Oh yeah, so in here there's a clear. So if it needs to clear, it will clear. But the point is the Robotron is cleared and drawn before anything else happens, and then the items are drawn on top. But this is what I don't understand. At that point, that means if I read the item at that screen position there, it should not be 0. If there's a Robotron entity in that position, this should be non-zero. But for some reason, it's dropping into this and failing. So this is the chunk of code that we're running right now that should, in theory, be ignoring characters that let's just check the loop is not because we do use the y values somewhere, but I think look, they're immediately reset here. So let's equal clear. Oh, here we go. What's this? Oh, that's just removing it. So that's just setting the screen MSB to 0, so it doesn't get drawn. No, it's never used at the same time. So these used. I mean, we can make sure just by doing that, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to have any difference on it because what's happening is this is running and setting the item screen position up, and it's completely self-contained. And then the other thing is the Robotron. So they happen at two completely different times, and they run through and finish at the same time as well. So, at different times, they're not, they don't overlap at any point. But I will test it just to make sure. It's always worth giving it a try, right? It's a quick change. But it's fine. It gives us something to look into on the next stream. And then the other thing we need to do is make things spawn. So I think we'll create another little animation, sprite animation, that we can stagger out a little bit, just to make the things appear on the screen. Yeah, see, they're doing the same again. It's very bizarre. I couldn't tell you why it's doing that. It's fine though. It's fine. We can look at it on the next stream, I guess. We've got 10 minutes, so we might solve it. So, so what might be happening? Okay, so this has to be reading wrong for some reason. I can't think why it would be reading wrong. We should only be drawing if the area is completely clear. If it's not clear, we shouldn't be drawing at all. Why that would be? Oh yeah. Thank you. Yeah, there's a couple of these. I think most of these locations here are only ever used independently of each other. But the reason there's three of them is because there are cases where some of them are used at the same time. So it's fine to add item screen pods onto here because it's only doors and Robotrons here. Same with this one as well. I could have probably added it here. This one I would probably leave alone, so I will leave that one alone because I don't know what that's being used for, but it's like a screen temporary vector. It's probably used for lots of different things. I mean, technically, we could have maybe used it in here if we know it's only ever used. I don't think any of these vectors are stored for later use. I think they're an immediate use kind of things. So. Yeah, I really don't know why this is happening. I wonder if I can get it paused in the debugger maybe at this point, but I have no idea where this piece of code is. Actually, I can put a marker in, can't I? I think there's a macro for this. If I just do that and write item screen pods, I think that's enough for it to show up in the in the build somewhere. So I can find that, then I can put a breakpoint in, and then we can find out where that piece of code is. So well, it didn't fail, so it must exist somewhere, that piece of code. Yeah, there we go. 6180. Oh god, that's good to remember. 6180. Okay, so let's close that down. And let's go and take a look in here. So what I need to do is get a position where the Robotron characters are being obscured by the diamonds, and then pause it. And then at that point, I can go and put a breakpoint in, and we can go and have a look to see what's happening on any of these screen locations. So let's just get a couple down. Right, there we go. So there is one being obscured there. Yeah, so just one. We've got 6 things and just one being obscured. So if I don't move now, okay, what was it? 6180. Okay, so let's go and have a look. 6180. So if I put a breakpoint in here and then I resume, okay, so now we get into here and we can start to see what's going on. So let's have a look at what's in C4. So that's going to give us a screen address. So the screen address is C218. So there's a really good. Is it this one? No, it doesn't give me the screen address, does it? It'll have to be this. I wish it would show the actual memory address here. So it's this address that we're looking at here, which is 10 across, D down. All right, so I need to get the calculator out for this. So 16 or so. So 10 across plus D times, 10 plus D times 28. So C218, which was, I think that was actually the location, wasn't it? C218. Okay, cool. Right. So it's this exact location it's trying to draw in now. So we should be able to see if we just skip this on one. The accumulator is showing up as 0. But look, it's not drawn both parts of the character. I think I know why. It's because of the way that the clear routine is working. Okay, so the drawn is not going to cut it, unfortunately. So that's fine. It's because what's happening is the first thing it's doing is it's now the stream is demonetized. It's the first thing it's doing is it's clearing where the star should be drawn. So it's clearing that star, which means when it goes to draw it, it's already clear. So it's always cutting out. So the drawn is completely useless for us. Instead, what we want to do is when we go to clear it, we need to check if the character that we're about to clear is a character that we're about to draw in that location as well. So easily done, and at least that's easily figured out. So that's where the debugger comes in handy. Okay, so here we go. Here's a clear. And at the moment it's skipping this because of that. Okay, so instead what we need to do is we need to store this in our 0-page location again. We can use the same one. It's absolutely fine to use that. So let's go and do that now. I'm happy with how this is working. So I'm not going to bother commenting stuff out. It's easy to go back if I need to, but I don't think I need to. Okay, so this is basically how we can check now. But what we can do first, so before we do that, get rid of that, we can do, right, we need Y0 like that. So the only time we should be clearing this is if it matches the type. So type is, yeah, so the type is the value that we're putting in. You can see here. So sorry, comma X, comma Y. And if it's not the same, then we skip over and we don't do this next bit here. Otherwise, if it is the same, then what we do is we put 0 in it and we draw it and we get rid of that. So it's going to take a couple more cycles to do each item, but items, there aren't that many of them on the screen, but so it shouldn't be too bad. And they're on a time limit, so. And again, we can stagger these out at some point if we need to. They're not staggered at the moment; it goes through everything. But it's a nice technique we can use, and we are using it in some. Oh my god, are using it in some places. There we go. Perfect. So there's a little bit of an overlap sometimes on the enemies, but that's fine. Oh, now we've got the problem that we can't always remove them because they should be getting removed. Okay. This might be one for next time, but you know, we're kind of there. They're not being removed though now. That's the problem. Probably because this is failing in a specific situation. Let's have a quick look, see if we can figure it out. So let's go and grab our debug. Let's move this down. Oh, actually, let's just have a look. I might be one I'll do next time. I'm getting quite tired anyway, but see if I can spot it. It might be a very simple thing. Okay, so we're loading whatever's in that location. Let's just have another go at it. See if we can kind of figure out what's going on. Like if I just kill them all, what happens? As opposed to like trying to trail them over it, because it looked like every single diamond stayed. Then none of them disappeared. Yeah, they're not flashing or anything. They're not disappearing. They're not animating and they're not disappearing. Oh, they disappear if you shoot over them. Yeah, so there's some kind of glitch here. Okay, so what I'm going to do, just as a temporary thing, is I'm just going to do that. I don't need that, actually. That shouldn't be there. So this should kind of restore the original behavior that we had before, just to make sure we know kind of where it is that it's happening. And then we can pick that up on the next stream, I think. Oh, God damn it. I died to that every time. Yeah, see, now they're animating. So they weren't animating before, but now they are. And they start flashing and disappearing. Okay, so there's obviously something about not drawing them to that screen location, or not clearing them from that screen location. That's a problem. Oh, I know why. It's because of the animation. Okay, so there is an animation that goes on, and the animation decides. Where is that then? So it needs to work out which one to draw. So it takes. Okay. So it takes a frame and increments it by one. So, okay, in that case, what we need to do this quickly. So in here, it's either going to be this value or it's going to be one less than this value. So I can do that and it will probably work fine. But that's we've now got a lot of extra checking in here, right? So see what it's like. I don't like how many cycles that's using. I might have to find a better way of doing that. Maybe if the characters are on even numbered and then +1 for the second frame, we can use an and instead. But at the moment, it could be on an odd number with an even number at the top. So in fact, let's have a look. It should actually be in the items list in constants. Item, yeah, see, look, this item 100 would fail in that case because of its position. Because it only has one frame, right? Whereas this one has 2 frames. So it's not going to work, unfortunately. But the one that we use, yeah, I mean this change should fix it, but we'll need to do some tests around it. Code Filiac, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. We're just about to end. Actually, I'm just going to test this last thing, and hopefully it's subtracting one like decrease. Not directly on the accumulator, unfortunately. You can only decrease a memory address. So you can on the Mega 65, which is annoying. But not on. Yeah, it's still not working anyway. Okay, so one last check. I'm just trying to think of a sneaky way of doing this. I think this needs to be add, actually, not subtract. No. Well, anyway, I know that it's this that's causing it, and I think I know why it's doing it. It's to do with the animation. Maybe we can rearrange the stuff in the animations a little bit, because ideally what you'd want to do is something like this, like that, and that would be enough. In fact, it probably is enough for the star, so let's put that in, but it's probably going to break on the 100s. But we can probably fix that by moving the 100 to somewhere else. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay, so do need to test the 100, so I'll test that on the next stream, but I think for now that's good. So the reason that's working is because it's alternating between one frame and the frame above it. And if you look in here, let me just bring up the character set for this. It's the base characters in it, so it's these ones. It's using this character here, EA, and this one, EB. So if you and the value with FE, you basically always get EA, regardless of which one this is. But this one is gonna look weird, this 100. So this is going to be broken. This is probably going to need swapping with this one, and then the animation for this decal changing. In fact, let me just go and have a quick look, because if I can do this now while I'm thinking about it, it'd be good. Yeah, so I can look here. So this is the decal animation. So if I just switch, no, it's not actually. Look, that's, oh yeah, it is. Look, E8 there. So if I switch E8 for E9, like so, and then I switch these two around, which I have no idea how to do. Like that. So I've kind of split the decal up a bit now, but what's going to happen is now I can set the item to E8 in here, and it will work for the 100s as well. So we'll try that out on this screen quickly, and then I'll call it a night. Oh, I need to export, don't know, else it's going to be all wrong. Save project, file, export binary, export character set, and export this into somewhere weird. It's here, isn't it? Base chars. Yeah, that's the one. So I need to die a few times on this screen so I can actually shoot. Oh, I just shoot the barrels, don't know. Or maybe I can shoot the mine before it goes off. Probably not, though. And then we'll go and raid somebody. Yeah, there we go. So it's these barrels, basically, will drop 100s. And as long as they animate properly, which they do, and as long as I can pick them up, which I'm not sure if I can, because I didn't see that at all. Let's go and grab those two barrels up there instead. So we're looking for the score going up when I grab those two barrels, which should go up by 100. No, I can't pick them up. Okay. Why can't I pick them up? I mean, I want to fix this before I go to bed. I know this will bug me otherwise. So bear with me, guys. Pick up item. Here we go. How does it know, though? Let's have a look. Okay, not sure what this is. Oh, okay, this is working out what it is that we've actually picked up. Tables, char 2x2 lookup. I need to write, here we go, E9 to EF. This needs to be E8 to EF. And oh my God, what is all this doing here? Oh, okay, so we're taking a value and we're trying to work out if it's E9 to EF. Okay, so let's have a look. So this is F8. So we're ANDing whatever value we get with F8. And then we're comparing that to E8. So if it is E8, so let's imagine we put E8 in here, then we're going to get E8 out the other end. If we put E9 in, okay. It's to do with this. Okay. Okay, I'm not going to do that now. I'm going to do it on the next stream. Okay, so we'll remember that we're here. I know it is. It's in player. Okay, cool. Good night, Nicomo. Yeah, good progress tonight. Quite pleased. We've got the Robotron screen almost working. We just need player collision in there, and we're good. I'm going to go and find someone to raid. I can't. I could sit here all night doing this. I'm not going to. So let's find someone. Who are we going to raid? Let's have a look. Noodles on. Hungry's on. Clippers on. Moonbeam's on. Let's raid Noodle. Noodle's fun. Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's good progress tonight. I shall see you guys on Saturday. We're going to just do Kart Racer on Saturday. Finally finish off that clip and algorithm. And hopefully we can start looking at adding some more interesting stuff in. I think we'll do some HUD stuff. So you'll have to wait now. All right, cool. Thanks, guys. Let's go and raid Noodle. I shall see you all on Saturday. Cheerio.